Fill your day with joy and happiness here on 90.9 FM, Radio Baha'i. Streaming at radiobaha'i.us.
Sending you love, peace, and unity. This is 90.9 FM, Radio Baha'i. It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and I have a special guest with me here today. We have a guest who is a jazz artist, has several top 10 Billboard hits, and he's talking with us ahead of him headlining night number 3 of the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival on October 22nd. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Julian Vaughn. Julian, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, doing great.
Thanks for taking the time out, talk to us a little bit about the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival, and also just some of the things that you've done in the past. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started and talk a little bit about where you started. I learned that you were from Kansas City, Missouri, so I knew you got to be excited, with the Kansas City Chiefs and how they looking right now.
Always, man, always excited. Two rings in 4 years. Yeah, we're definitely excited.
Hey, that's what's up right there. But you started off, learning how to play instruments. You actually started off as a drummer. So kind of walk us through that. How did you get involved in drumming in the first place? And, and what was the path behind that?
Well, it was almost like the drums chose me growing up, because all we had in church, your organ, your piano, and then a drum set.
Right.
And so, like most kids like myself, we gravitate to all the loud beating and the sticks and the toms and all that. So that's just what I gravitated to,
right.
Early on, and until I just I want to do something else.
Right.
So that's when I picked up that bass.
Yeah, so you picked up the bass guitar, but me and you have something in common. I mean, your grandfather was a pastor of the church. My grandfather is a pastor of the church, so I kind of grew up in that element, and I definitely understand about, growing up in that church environment. But you did pick up the bass guitar, and the rest is history. But when you did decide to do it, was it motivation from someone to switch from the drums to the bass, or was it something that you kind of gravitated to? Was there somebody that you knew was pretty good at it? Walk us through that.
Well, it was, so basically, it happened just like this. I was 15, and this guy had it in his hand. He was playing it. At that time, I didn't know if he was good or not, but later on, he wasn't good when I got good. I just, like, my dad or grandpa was preaching, and I just slid over there and I just picked it up. Like, nobody told me I should do it or check this out. I just literally just picked it up and just held it in my hands as if I was playing. And I guess some just clicked, like, do it.
Yeah.
And so from that day on, I began to teach myself how to play.
So you taught yourself how to play the bass guitar. I was going to ask you, like, was there someone that kind of taught you along the way? But what was it like? How did you become so naturally gifted at the bass guitar? Was there like certain things that you read, or was it just trial and error? Like, how did you become so good at being self-taught?
Man, I noticed once I started teaching myself that I had an ear. So, like, most of the things I would hear, I could play it. So I would go home after church or even before church. I record all the gospel songs back then we had cassettes too, cassette tapes. So they had gospel hours on the radio, and I knew when they were. So I would just record all the gospel songs that they played, and I would get home after church, and I would try to play, like, from Hezekiah Walker to John P. Key to all those guys. I would try to play exactly what that bass player was playing, and that's how I taught. That's how I taught myself. Again, nobody taught me to, like, this is a proper way you spread your fingers. I had to learn all that on my own.
Yeah,
And it just clicked.
right.
Like,
Yeah, so for all
yeah,
those people out there that's trying to teach themselves how to be a bass guitarist, it is possible,
it
and you
is.
could have an incredible career in the process.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
but no doubt about it. I mean, but you were part of several gospel recordings after you realized that that you kind of perfected this craft here, and back in 2010, you decided to launch a solo career. So what was the thought behind that? Was it something that somebody motivated you, like, hey Julian, I think that you can really take this thing, and run with it? Or was it like, you know what, I think I'm good enough, I'm gonna go ahead and try to go out here and show the people what I got?
I heard Wayman Tisdale,
Mhm.
and like this guy brought a Wayman Tisdale CD to my to class, and he was
Right.
like, "Hey man, check this out. I heard you play." And so at that time, I was just playing regular bass or whatever. And
Mhm.
that was the first time I heard a guy or anybody, a bass player, being featured as an instrument like a saxophone would, or a guitarist.
Right.
And once that clicked, oh, that changed my whole world.
Wow.
Like, that changed my whole world. And I'm like, and I just gravitated to it. It's just like, I mean, when I say it struck a chord, man,
Mhm.
and it was like, yeah, playing bass is cool, but I want to do that.
Mhm.
And that's when it was just like fate. I don't even, because I didn't know he played when I was 17. I didn't even know he was playing bass or had an album out until that guy brought it to school.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it was just like, I don't know, it was just like divine.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm looking at the resume here. I mean, your debut album, Breakthrough, back in 2012. I mean, it was a number one. You had a number one Billboard chart, album.
Nope.
Like your very first album. I mean, that's incredible, man. And
Yeah.
you have several other albums that you put out there. Where do you get motivation to write your songs, to be able to put it out there and allow people to feel what you're saying, man? I mean, feel the words and feel the music. How do you find that motivation?
Well, that's a good question. And just being honest, like, I want to be considered. I want to be the best.
Mm,
Uh, at what I do.
mm,
I feel like nobody can do me better than me.
right.
But um, blazing a new trail. But more importantly, I take a lot of pride in producing and then writing
Mm,
my all. Mostly all my records.
right.
I do have others that
Mm,
do like a song, that produce a song or two on the albums, but
right.
most of everything I do all myself.
Right.
And I take pride in that, because at the end of the day, I don't have to split any percentages with anybody,
Right.
especially now that I'm independent.
Independent.
For
Yeah.
the past 3 years, I done seen more money independently than I did 5-6 years with a label. And
Right.
so that's what really draws me, because yeah, we do this because we love it, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, we gotta eat too. We
Basically.
gotta, we gotta support ourselves.
Right.
We gotta save money. We gotta invest.
Mm,
And the more I can do myself, I do that,
right. Yeah.
because
I mean,
the greater the return.
yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we all have gifts. God blesses us with
Hmm.
talent, and we want to show that talent. But I mean, we want people to acknowledge that talent, but we want to be compensated. I just noticed that, like you say, you take a lot of pride in your writing. I was looking at your bio, and a lot of people, I mean, for you to have so many different Billboard chart hits. I mean, people got to
Hmm.
feel that, like people
Yeah.
you can't fake that type of energy. People going
Yeah.
to feel it or they're not. And the fact that you're,
Yeah.
so successful writing these songs and getting people to move and feel, I mean, I just feel that is incredible in itself, man. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But you get an opportunity to travel not just around the United States, but around the world as well. I've heard that you even went to places like Dubai and, all
Yep.
these different places overseas. What's the energy like, going and performing abroad? Like, what's the energy like? Is it a different type of energy that you have that's different from here in the States? And just walk us back to that first time where you actually performed abroad. What was that like?
It is some countries and cities out there, it is a different energy because in the US we're spoiled. We get this all the time. We can go see a show just like that. Over there, they don't have a bunch of or hundreds of entertainers and jazz entertainers. They gotta wait until we fly over there for the most part, and the appreciation is like on level 10.
Yeah.
And like I remember performing in Germany, Augsburg, Germany, at this festival there, man. And like, I mean, them people, and this is what 2013, 14. I'm like only 4 years in, man. They gave me a standing ovation.
Wow.
I mean, it was like, yeah, I still remember that, and I still remember that feeling. And they were just like glued in. And then I did my other memorable performances were in Dubai, of course, being featured in Dubai Entertainment Magazine. I mean, this is like Dubai, and like when I'm in the magazine as a must-see show to watch. I'm like, wow.
Incredible, man.
And yeah. So all that just gave me the confidence, like, you know what, you can do this, like you can do this. And so I'm grateful and thankful, but at the same time I ain't satisfied. Like there's there's a whole lot of places I need to still go and share the gift.
Yeah. I mean, but the fact is that you're getting that type of love. I mean, I know it got to be like a surreal experience. It's like one thing, like, you're from Kansas City, you go back home, you get that love, right? But it's like people thousands of miles away, man. You walk on stage and they're saying like, man, this is a must-see show, and people are just anticipating what you do. But in a process, Julian, like, how do you get motivated, like, to hit the stage? Like, I was looking at some of your performances that are available, and the energy that you come with, man, it's like it's a different type of energy. So is it something that you just you wake up with, or is it like a zone that you get in before you actually hit the stage? And what's the preparation when you perform in front of a crowd?
You do have to zone in sometimes you can just, sometimes I feel like I can hit the stage at any moment of the day and turn it on. Like, for example, now I'm being transparent. Like, a lot of people want to be transparent. I had a show this Saturday in Cali, and I was telling my wife, like, I feel like I haven't performed. Now, mind you, I performed like a week and a half ago before this, but I was just feeling like I ain't hit the stage in 6 months. And I guess because, like, we get on stage, but at the same time, we got life stuff happening with us, just like everybody else. And so you processing stuff, and then it's like, dang, I got to leave and go out of town again. And so I was just telling her, I was like, I got to get my mind right. And even up until I hit the first song started, because even doing sound check, I wasn't feeling myself. And I was like, man, I don't know what else to do. But as soon as I hit that first song, a minute into it, it's like, all right, boom,
everything came back. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it is. And it's been times where I didn't feel like going on. Like, I don't want to be on stage. Like, dang, I don't want to be here. Not being ungrateful. It's just, because you travel and you tour so much. And so he's like, man, but 9 times out of 10, man, once you get into it, like, it's like everything else just goes away, and you you in the moment. And I don't care if it could be 50 or 5,000. I'm gonna play the same way. I'm gonna give the same energy, the same show, because that's just what's in me.
Yeah, I mean, because I guess you have to look at it like, even though you may feel a certain way, there's somebody out there that's probably was anticipating, man, I gotta go see Julian Vaughn. You know, you want to provide like a great experience for them for when they go back home, they can tell their
Mhm.
friends like, man, I went to go see Julian Vaughn, man. That show was bomb. So,
Yep.
but I
Yep.
definitely understand how you feel about, life and stuff like that. I mean,
Yep.
you got to have that energy. You got to be able to, compartmentalize when you get on stage, but at the same time, you're human, So
Yep. Exactly.
I feel you on that, no doubt about it. My final question for you though is, they might have a young bass guitarist, young drummer out there that's probably going to be watching this interview. What advice would you give a young Julian Vaughn, a potential Julian Vaughn out there that have aspirations of following a similar path that you are on right now?
Basically, what you put in is what you get out. So you put the work in, meaning the practice, the studying, the the if you got somebody that you can sit under, that kind of work that you put in, it'll come back, and you will be where you want to be. And I'm my hardest critic, and so yeah, I tell people all the time that they're starting out. Yeah, if your family don't know any better, they'll tell you, "Oh, you good," when you're really not good.
Yeah,
You need people credible around you that's gonna let you know, nah, that ain't cutting it. You need to keep working on that.
yeah,
Because people will get out there, they get out here, and then realize, dang it, I was lied to. Like I ain't good.
mm.
And so, that's what I would tell them. But it's the practice. It's the
Yeah,
practice.
yeah.
So that's what I would tell them, man.
Yeah. I mean, we all got those family members, especially growing up in church, man. They take you to get up there.
Yep.
You don't sound that good, but yeah, baby, you sound good. Think you need to go to, American Idol or something. But then you get that that reality when somebody say, you need some work. But I know a lot of young kids, a lot of aspiring bass guitarists going to feel what you're saying, man. So I really do appreciate that. And thank you so much for your time, taking the time out to talk to us a little bit, about, everything that you have going on. And we're looking forward to you being at the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival on October 22nd, closing that out. A lot of people are anticipating that. So, Julian, thank you so much for your time, man, and look forward to seeing your performance.
Appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, you take care. This is 90.9
All right.
FM. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Julian Vaughn.